Students, hello. How are you? It's Wednesday, and you know what? It took me like 30 minutes to prep for this video, and in that time, I think Ceramics 2 students are going to be asked to recycle that clay over there, because there's few enough of you that you can still say safely apart, and then we'll use it for this project because I don't know. Otherwise, I feel like we waste a lot of clay in this project because we're making some big stuff that's going to be hollowed out. So it's been decided. Sorry, sorry, I made that decision without you. Anyways, this is Armature video for Ceramics 2, the ceramic bust project. Okay, so what you're doing, I made this one for maybe students at home. I limited students at home, virtual students, to about a 10-inch bust instead of life size. I actually also don't think you'd have to create an armature if you don't want to. Just because you could probably get away with cutting it in half and hollowing it out. So this is what we're making, a head and shoulders that we're going to put our clay on top of. Okay, so this is a small version of that because again, if you're working at home and you want to do that limited size, that's about the size that I would go with. Otherwise, students at school, we're making an armature, you know, it doesn't have to look perfect. We're just making a base for what you're going to build your armature off of. So we have a bunch of donated newspaper that you can use, and you're really just crumpling it on top of each other. First, we're going to try to make a ball shape for the head. And then I would like you to make some shoulders too, because that just makes things easier to stand up. And it also seems a little weird to like just have a head like laying on a table somewhere. To me anyways. I don't know. Also, use your head as your own reference. Mine is very large. Anyway. I have to learn not to talk during this part so that I can fast forward it. Okay. So here's my head and shoulders. I don't know. It doesn't look perfect, but we can fix all that with clay, I'm pretty sure. You just really need a very generic shape. So also, when you're done with your armature, you're just going to roll out a ton of clay. And I mean, I had I took it from something that a student returned, so I don't know how to compare it to the bags fresh, but I would say at least a third of that bag of clay on our normal bags of clay, if not more than that. And again, there's no real rhyme or reason to this. What's going to happen is you're going to roll it out as thin as you can. Take your time, you know, maybe work with a classmate, and it's probably not going to cover your whole piece, and that's okay, because then you'll just roll out a couple more slabs and add to it. But just so you can kind of see how to make the basic shape. So when I put this clay on this armature, it's probably going to sink a little bit, but hopefully it stands enough that it won't be too big a deal. And you're really just covering up, ooh, maybe I'll go this way. Covering up what you can. Look at that. And then, obviously, you know, we're going to have a lot of excess here. So you're just going to try to pinch between the head and shoulders, and then like fold these flaps. I kind of fold them in, so you're going to have like 4 corners here that we're going to actually cut and get rid of. Okay, so I mean, super generic shape, right? But now you go in, you'll add, just like we did with our with the masks, the faces that we made in Ceramics 1, you're going to add facial features the same way you did there. So you're still going to build up, you know, you can carve out eye sockets, you can build up where the nose is and all of that good stuff. And I have a video from Ceramics 1 if you need a reminder on that too. Eventually, we actually are going to cut these in half and take the newspaper out of them too. You don't have to do that, but we found that it takes, I mean, like over a month to dry if you don't. And we had a lot of problems with students' pieces exploding in the kiln. So it is pretty easy once this is leather hard. Cut it in half. Usually we go, you know, kind of through the side of the head and then pull it apart, take the armature out. You also, you know, if you can flip it over and pull some out of the bottom, that's usually how we start with it too. So we'll go over all of that when it's time, but let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, you know, that's what we're doing. First step is making our newspaper armature and then rolling out a slab of clay and just kind of making a generic shape for a head and shoulders. Okay, I hope that works. We'll see you in class. Bye.